right, so now we have to start with the last session of this conference about the future of the European citizenship. For this panel, we are going to have with us Madame Laurence Farreng, a French politician, member of the Modem, who has been part of the European Parliament since 2019. Madame Laurence has been the coordinator of her group in the Committee of Culture of the Education, Youth and Sport, and has participated on the Committee of Regional Development, as well on the Conference of the Future of Europe. Therefore, we think that she can give us a really interesting insight on this matter. Laurence, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and hello everyone. And I would like to add that I also live in Pau, close to the border, and Pau, which is part of your alliance. So I'm very proud and happy to be with you tonight to contribute to this session of reflection about the European citizenship and with the youth. So. As you said, I participate of a lot of youth policies in the European Parliament, but as well with the Conference for the Future of Europe. And I think really, I believe that education, culture, youth and sport are essential vectors of the sense of belonging to a citizenship, and probably even more essential vectors when it comes to European citizenship. Why even more essential? It's because, as we know, our European citizenship is a very unique form of citizenship, as it comes in addition or as another layer of our national citizenship. It's not about having a double citizenship, because we cannot be European citizen without being citizen of at least one of the 27 member states of the Union. This is where our European motto, united in diversity, take its whole sense, but also constitute a challenge to have this sense of belonging. Because in fact, European citizenship is unique, is also quite recent, and it exists only since the Treaty of Maastricht, and is as well for many abstract. So what could be its perspective? To me, its perspectives rely on the value we defend as European Union. I heard the previous speech of my colleague, and he insists a lot on these values. It's democracy, rule of law, protection of human rights, freedom of speech. These are the values that come with our European citizenship. At a moment where our values are threatened by populism and nationalism in all world, and even within our union, our liberal democracies are the only ones fighting to defend our values. Reinforcing our European citizenship has to pass by understanding the importance of our values and their protection. And what I think is more education will always benefit to democracies, and this is what I stand for. I stand for passing the message on the chance we have to live in liberal democracies and how we should all engage with them in order to protect democracy. That is why I think it's crucial to get involved in what is called the Conference of the Future of Europe. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about it, because as we are working on this conference in a few months, I know it's difficult to communicate very widely about it. And I want to tell you a little bit more about the title of my intervention, the role of the Conference on the Future of Europe at Rethinking European Citizenship. Since a few months in Europe, we have been trying to become more avant-garde in our way of thinking about the future of democracy, green economy, digital issues, and human rights. This new innovative process called the Conference on the Future of Europe gathers citizens, national member of parliaments, representatives from local governments, and member of the European Parliament. It's an initiative led by 3 European institutions, and my political group, Renew Europe, has pushed really hard for this to become real. This large-scale, innovative, democratic exercise is expected to give concrete results during next spring in 2022, and I hope that the pandemic will allow us to achieve the program in this summer, to achieve it for the, our European month of May. The changes we hope it will bring are changes in policies, and why not in European treaties, because we can imagine to reopen treaties to go further in our European integration. To give more powers to the European Parliament in different areas and deepen the European integration, further foster the common practices. And for my concern, to further the integration in education is particularly very interesting to strengthen European citizenship with our values at the core. In the Conference on the Future of Europe, discussions, every topics are on the table, and recommendations made first by the citizens will be turned into proposals by the plenary of the Conference of the Future of Europe, of which I am a member. We have 9 thematics to climate change, to youth polity, but as well about constitutional affairs, which is at the core as well of our reflection. If we imagine to reopen the treaty, for example, to end with the rule of unanimity, that sometimes and very often block us when it comes to question of the rule of law, but as well on the budgetary issue in the European Union. So I am member of the conference, and I am participating in the working group on education, of course, and we began in October discussing citizens' first input. So that's really exciting. To me, this conference by itself is the first way of reinforcing the sense of belonging, as it actually engages citizens into democratic process. And when coming to citizen input, there are several interesting points to notice. Since the start of the conference last May, there are already many ideas shared by the citizens. Thanks to the multilingual platform that the European Commission launched, more than 11,000 ideas have been gathered. Thanks to the citizens panel that are composed of the 800 citizens coming from all Europe, citizens are building proposals that will be presented to lawmakers, we at the European Parliament, but as well in the national parliaments. And thanks to the many various events and debates organized everywhere in the member states, a wide audience can be listened to. So it's really wide process and very democratic process. I want to highlight this point. Therefore, people want to engage in the European projects, and that's really what we have learned. The citizens participating to discussions panel keep asking to further integrated education program, particularly on the subtopic named Learning in Europe. This is what comes out, encouraging a European common identity has to be made through an academic common program as well. Education is actually a leverage for building a sense of belonging to Europe. But now, today, we know that is national competence, and what we heard from citizens is that there was a more wide European education space. I believe education has a lot to do in the way we understand and grasp our European citizens, and I think the Erasmus Plus program is the best example one can find for several reasons. In my opinion, the Erasmus Plus program is an essential pillar of training and employability for young people in Europe. Yes, but it's much more just an exchange program. As a negotiator of the new Erasmus Plus program for the period of 2021-2027, I'm convinced of the program's potential to open up minds, build self-confidence, and acquire essential skills for entering the labor market, not only in their home country, but in all Europe. Thanks to the mobility, it really permits to experience, to live Europe as a citizen by discovering it, by meeting others, by learning languages and meeting other European cultures. When looking at the recent surveys made about European youth, it's striking to see how the mobility, the freedom of movement is the #1 benefit youth identified from the European project. If we really want to strengthen or even create this sense of belonging, this European citizenship, we therefore have to make sure that we include everyone in it. As I was in charge of the negotiation for my political group for the new Erasmus Plus 2021-2027 program, I fought for a more inclusive, green and innovative program. We secured a doubling of the budget comparing to the last programming period. So more financial means as well more people involved. Our aim is to reach about 10 million participants for this new program for the next 7 years. So it's very important to reach all that new profile of people. We want to reach more people from diverse backgrounds, which is a very good way to make those people feel European, feel more European. Youth and student exchanges programs like Erasmus Plus are a very important tool to share knowledge and ideas and to fight stereotypes and populism. It's as well a very aim of the 41 existing Alliance of European Universities, and you belong to this very important network. Allowing European student, professor and researcher to work, think and meet together is at the core of this project. We need this kind of spirit to enhance the European feeling and to strengthen the European citizenship. European universities go even a step further in this sense because many alliances aim to create common curricula and common diplomas. For all these reasons, I think we can go even further in reinforcing European citizenship through education, thanks to the opportunity of the conference on the future of Europe. We need to build common curricula, not only in universities, but also in schools, on key issues as the digital and the environmental transition, and on Europe itself. First, the digital. Our world is changing and digital is everywhere, and it will surely even increase. We need to educate our youth about digital. We need dedicated classes to digital literacy. It's the best way to fight against disinformation about fake news. As we know, youth, but even more children, are more and more connected people. They need to know everything about what happens on the web world. And this digital literacy is a very important goal that we want to achieve. Second, the environmental transitions. In this field, every citizen has to make progress, but we are sure that knowledge, practices, and understanding must be integrated at the European level, because the environmental transition is a European level challenge, and everyone should be included in the fight against climate change. I think we have to exchange our skills in these fields. And that's why I'm also very committed in the exchange in the VET curricula. We have to help apprentices to go abroad and to participate to this exchanges program, and that's as well a goal of the new Erasmus Plus program. And finally, I want to speak about, to learn about Europe itself. Therefore, I defend civic education about the European Union. How can we understand the values Europe stands for and protect us for if we don't know them? Teaching Europe must be included in the school curricula. I don't know if you have followed maybe yesterday the speech of the French president, which is launching the French presidency of the European Union. He insists a lot about this need to understand each other, sharing the same knowledge in our common history. Of course, it's a very sensitive issue when it comes to history, because in the past we have built different histories, but the fact that we can share the same European history because we have a common history is a very important point, and it will be highlighted during the French presidency during the next months. So in the same field, and on this idea to increase this European feeling and sense of belonging, I also stand for European civic service. This program will be crossroad between the content and the experience, meaning between learning about Europe thanks to knowledge and experiencing Europe thanks to mobility. I believe this is major for European citizenship and acquire a real sense of belonging. European civic service has to be built now. It's a project, it's an idea, because we have at the European level this program of the exchange and volontariat, but we want to make it grow and to have links, more bridges between member states which have some kind of national service civic, like in France, but I know in Italy, I don't know if in Spain you have this kind of thing, but it will be really important that it could be built at the European level to reinforce these exchanges for all youth, to improve the civic service. In conclusion, what I want to say is that all of us, for this reason, that it was really important to me to participate today at your event, to tell you how much I admire your work, your engagement for Europe, because I think you are true pioneers of what is coming for our future, particularly with the European education area. This area is not achieved yet, of course. It's a work in progress, but I am sure it will be a cornerstone of one of the successes of our European citizenship. So thank you very much for your invitation, and I stay with you to answer for some questions. Thank you very much.
¿Alguna pregunta?
It's a very good news for us, this idea that we have expressed about the view that from the European Parliament has about our initiatives in in the UNITA, in the European Universities Alliances, because this is one of our main goals. We have it's easier for us to contact with young people, so we have a great responsibility in order to arrive to these young people with this kind of messages and with this kind of goals of disseminating European values and so on. I don't know if you know if this question of the European citizenship is something which is an axis of more of other or more or all European alliances, or it's only a kind of peculiarity of UNITA Alliance?
No, I don't really have view on the content of all the alliances, but I think the citizenship is included, is part of the project of the alliances. I don't know if it was your question, but of course, if we, the fact that this new kind of alliances was possible is at the heart of the European project, because it's different than mobility programs. It's really to have a network of exchanges between, and I think it's very democratic process, because you can say where you are and have access to Europe, and that's what I appreciate a lot, because I know, for example, in my city in Po, students can exchange with teachers where all over Europe, where you are in, I think in Romania, in the Alps and so on. So it's UNITE because it's democratic, it's inclusive, and it's a new way to live the European adventure and to have this access to education. And so it's how you can feel European.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. If you have no more question, I want to thank you once again for this invitation.